right there is why frog fishing is my favorite way to catch a bass. It's explosive, it's visual, and 9 times out of 10, it's a bigger fish that you've caught any other way. In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 things that matter most when you're throwing a frog. And if you want to get these 3 things right, I promise you'll start catching bigger fish more often. We're going to talk about where to put your boat, how to pick the right spot to start with, and where exactly your line needs to land. That last one is the one most people get wrong, and we'll get to why. But before any of that, here's the one thing that I want you to hear. Frog fishing is not hard. It's one of the easiest techniques to learn once someone shows you what to look for. So stick with me. All right, let's start with picking your spot. Because if you're in the wrong water, the best cast in the world isn't going to do you any good. This is the area I caught those fish in, and I want to walk you through exactly why I picked it. The first thing I looked at was the wind. On this day, we had a southeast wind blowing straight into this bank line, and that changes everything. Here's why that matters. When wind pushes into a bank like this, it blows the bait right up against the shoreline. The bait fish get stacked up and the bass follow them. A bank that might be dead on a calm day turns into a feeding zone the second the wind starts pushing the water onto it. So rule number 1, when I'm picking a spot, I'm looking at the wind direction first, and I'm finding the banks that are taking the wind in the face. The second thing, this bank has buckbrush right at the water's edge. And that's not just a bush sitting on top of the water. Underneath the surface, that buckbrush has an entire root system extending out into the water. That's what bass are really sitting in. They're not just hanging out next to the stalks, they're tucked deep inside those roots, using them as cover to ambush whatever swims by. So you've got wind pushing bait up against the bank, and you've got thick underwater cover for big fish to set in and pick them off. That's the combination that I'm always looking for. That's why this spot produced wind, cover, and a reason for the fish to be there. That's the filter I run every spot through before I even pick up the rod. This is where I see guys mess up constantly. They get excited, they see the cover, and they drive the boat right up on it. By the time they make their first cast, every fish within 30 feet knows that they're there. Here's the rule. Stay 15 to 20 feet off the bank at a minimum. Anything closer than that and you're in what I call the spook zone. The fish can feel the trolling motor, they can see the shadow of the boat, and they shut down before you've even made a cast. Here's a clip of me working the bank line last week. See how I'm staying out there? I'm not trying to get right up on top of the brush. I'm letting my cast do the work, not the boat. And here's a tip. If you've got the wind behind you, like it was on this day, let it push you down the bank naturally. You don't need to be hammering the trolling motor the whole time. The quieter you are out there, the better off you're going to be. The other thing is you want to work parallel to the bank, not into it. You're moving down the edge, keeping that same 15 to 20 feet of distance the whole way. That way every cast you make comes in at a natural angle, and the fish don't see the boat behind the lure. This last one is the biggest one. And if you take nothing else away from this video, please, please, please take this. If your frog does not land within 1 foot radius of the cover, you are wasting your cast. I mean it, 1 foot, maybe even closer. That's the target, right at the base of the bush, tucked up against the stalks, as close as you can physically get to it without hanging up. Look at where those fish are setting. They're buried in the roots. A bass in that kind of cover is not going to swim 6 feet out into the open water to hit your frog. He's sitting tight because it's where his ambush is. If your lure lands 3 feet away, he sees it, but he's not going to commit to it. Land it in the bullseye, and it's game, set, match. This is why accuracy matters. More than distance with a frog, I would say accuracy is definitely the most important. I'd rather make a 20-foot cast that lands exactly where I want it than take a 60-foot cast that lands in the wrong zip code. Practice this in your backyard if you have to. Set up a target, back off 15 to 20 feet and throw it until you can hit it 9 times out of 10. I'm telling you, it'll change your frog fishing overnight. So that's it. 3 things. Find a wind-blown bank with real cover, not just any bush, but one with a reason for big fish to be there. Keep your boat 15 to 20 feet off the bank so you don't spook the fish before you even start, and put your frog within 1 foot of the cover every single cast. Get those 3 right, and I promise the frog bite will open up for you. It's honestly one of the easiest techniques to learn, and once you know what to look for, and once you start getting blow-ups like the one at the start of this video, you'll understand why it's my favorite way to fish. If you want to see how I mark up spots and keep track of where I'm catching fish, I use the Simplistic Fishing mobile app for all of that. I'll put a link in the description for you guys. Hit the subscribe button if this helped you out. Drop a comment, let me know what you want me to cover next, and I'll see you on the water.